We begin tonight with the chronic issue of homelessness and a question. Are we any further ahead now than we were 3 years ago? You may recall that's when Victoria launched its coalition to end homelessness with great intentions and with an ambitious goal to solve the homeless problem by 2018. But many people believe we have failed so far and we will not succeed unless all Greater Victoria municipalities get on board. There is a leading expert in affordable housing who is here this week who says regional and national support are critical. A News reporter Stephen Andrew has the story.
Only two local politicians turn up for a presentation about how to combat homelessness. Both are from Victoria. Michael Shapcott has worked nationally and internationally on affordable housing and social innovation. He says Ottawa needs to provide more support for the homeless after walking away from the issue in 1993.
And they are.
Shapcott is in the capital region to offer advice and to encourage Victoria to join a nationwide coalition to end homelessness.
Every time there's a bit of a political spasm, a bit of money gets thrown at an issue in some part of the country or another, but we have no coherent national program, and that stands in stark contrast to the United States, to Britain.
For those working on Greater Victoria's plan to end homelessness by 2018, Shapcott has nothing but praise. But he sees challenges.
The fact is that here in Victoria you've got 13 municipalities, some of whom are on board, some of whom aren't. In Toronto, where I come from, there are 33 municipalities in the Toronto region, again, right across the spectrum in terms of support, so we don't have robust structures at the regional level.
A News followed a team from Victoria in 2008 looking at how Portland plans to end homelessness in 10 years. When the team returned, Victoria set up its own coalition, planning to end homelessness by the year 2018. While there are still challenges, there has been some progress. The Rock Bay Landing Emergency Homeless Shelter is an example of a project that helps not only the homeless, but also the community.
And that is really reflected in the feedback that myself and my partner has received. So we've canvassed almost all of the businesses in the immediate vicinity of the shelter, and many of them have told us that they notice either no difference in terms of public disorder or that there's actually been a slight improvement. So for us, that's a very positive thing.
The Greater Victoria Coalition to End Homelessness believes that 3 years into its mandate, it's on track, despite not having all local politicians at the table.
I think maybe it's a perception that the barriers are insurmountable. I don't believe that they are, and our partners do not either.
But at least one provider, the manager of Victoria's newest emergency shelter, sees a missing link.
You know, we're dealing with the region's issues. It is at least a regional issue. So yes, I imagine we need everybody at the table, including the feds and all the municipalities, in agreement before we can make more of a dent.
Stephen Andrew joins us now with more on Pandora Avenue. Stephen, another example where the A word seems to be coming into play again, this time with homelessness. Would there be more money to address this if the region were amalgamated?
Well, there certainly would, Hudson, because, I mean, you then qualify for big city funding, and advocates for the homeless say that would certainly help. I mean, they're saying the issue is really that all of the players need to be around the table, all of the municipalities talking with one voice, and that would get the feds moving. And it'll be interesting to see how many of those politicians from across the region are going to be at the University of Victoria tonight. That's when Michael Shapcott is giving another presentation in the David Lamb Auditorium at UVic. It begins at 7 o'clock, and he'll also be having some people from the community on a panel that will be responding to questions. It'll be interesting to see how much attention this issue gets tonight. Interesting to see as well in your report the success of the Rock Bay facility with the presence of police. It's doing very well. I'm being told that crime is down in that area. They certainly kept their word. When the community was up in arms about that shelter going in, the police said they would be there on a regular basis patrolling the streets, and I can tell you when we were there today we saw police vehicles pass 2 or 3 times, and generally people in the area are very, very happy with what's going on there. All right, Stephen Andrew reporting. Stephen, thanks. You're welcome.